Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about Anastasia'S mate, which is kind of like the back rank mate, except it's like on the side, on like the vertical files of the board, not on like the horizontal ranks. It's on the vertical files, and it's, as I said, it's kind of like the back rank mate, but it's also different from it as well. So let's get into it. Okay, so here, this is not the Anastasia'S mate. This is the back rank mate. But you need to know what the back rank mate is in order to know what Anastasia'S mate is. So the back rank mate is basically delivered using either a rook or a queen. And Black's king cannot go forward because he has 3 pawns in front of him, usually done in a castled position, and Black's king cannot go anywhere else, like here. Of course, the Black king could be on h8 as well. There would still be a checkmate, and notice how the White king is not checkmated because he's able to escape. So this is a back rank mate. Now, here, how do you play Anastasia'S mate? How do you, actually put it into action? Is by, it's delivered by a knight and a rook, not a queen. I mean, it could be delivered by a queen as well, just like the back rank mate, but normally it's done with the knight and the rook. So first, you gotta check the king. Here, you could force checkmate. So usually when you force checkmate, you gotta start with a check or a forcing move, which is most of the time the check. And here you can only check 2 ways, by moving your knight to e7 or moving your knight to f6. Obviously, you don't want to move your knight to f6, because the pawn on g7 will just capture it, and it really won't get you anywhere. So, first you will move your knight to e7 in this scenario. Now, whether the king goes to h7 or h8, it doesn't really matter, but let's say it goes to h7, because those are its only 2 moves. Now, the rook can just hop over to h5 and check the king, and this is also a checkmate. Now, you might be wondering, how in the world is this like the back rank mate? Well, first of all, it's delivered by a rook, or it could also be delivered by a queen. And the Black king, it can't move to the other file, the G file, because it's being guarded. The G7 square is being blocked by the pawn, and the G8 and G6 squares are being guarded by the knight. And if you kind of flip it, so then flip it 90 degrees, at 90 degrees anywhere, then it could be, it will look like a checkmate. And G8, the squares G8 and G6, might as well be replaced with pawns, because the king can't go to them either way. So it kind of looks like a vertical back rank mate. So this is Anastasia'S mate. Now that we got like the bare bones of it, let's put it into practice in a real game. So notice how the knight on d5, just like in the other example, could hop to e7. And the rook on e5 could have easily hopped to h5 if it wasn't for the queen. Now, the only 2 things that are really making a big difference here is the queen and this h7 pawn that Black has. Because you know how in the other example, there was no h7 pawn. Like, let's say you try to attack with your knight, the king just moves to h8, and you're really not getting anywhere. So what you want to do is, first, you still want to check the king. Knight to e7. Now, he only has one move. Here. Now you gotta get rid of these two crucial factors that weren't here in the other example. The queen and the h7 black pawn. You gotta get rid of them. Alright, so you gotta do it with like a gain of tempo. You can't really just like move your queen away. And then black has time to like free himself. And it's not really gonna help with the h7 pawn. You can't really hope that black would really badly play h5 with this pawn, because it's not really gonna happen. So you gotta do a queen sacrifice here. You take the pawn on h7, taking out one factor, and you're also sacrificing your queen. Now, the black king cannot move anywhere, like, except take. I mean, you can't go to g8 because the queen is there, and it, obviously you can't just like hop off the board and run away. So it has to take. And now, just like in the other example, even though black has a queen and he has a knight and a rook, it seems like the game is toppled in black's favor, right? But honestly, you could still play rook h5, and that's checkmate. Just like in the previous example, take away the whole board except this knight on e7, the pawn on g7, the king on h7, and the rook on h5. Take away everything else, and it's a checkmate. I mean, the other pieces don't really matter because they can't do anything. Like, none of the pieces could come in and block the checkmate, and they can't really perpetual check the white king because the white already went and checkmated. So this is Anastasia'S mate. Of course, there are other checkmates that are delivered by rooks and knights, but this specific one is called Anastasia'S mate. So that will be about it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, leave a like, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you never miss another video.